Hello, this is The Daily Dad. It's Sunday morning. You know, when I was growing up, my parents took my brother and me on Sunday mornings to dim sum. A lot of my memories that I have of our family together was sitting around a big table at some kind of chaotic dim sum restaurant. I remember my aunts and uncles being there and my cousins too, as well as my beloved grandmother. Yikes, but I also remember there being many unfriendly waiters with their push carts and chicken feet. Well, 20 years later, the unfriendly waiters with their push carts are gone, but the chicken feet remain, as are my fond memories of those days of dim sum yore. So, here we are in downtown Bethesda, and I'm looking forward to checking this place out. And that means that you get to come along for the ride too. I'm curious, and you are curious. It's Dim Sum at Q by Peter Chang, today on The Daily Dad. Interestingly, while there are certainly other restaurants that serve dim sum in neighboring towns like Rockville and Wheaton, this is the only one of maybe two that I think uses an all-you-can-eat approach. So just one price, and that's $28 per adult. Now, let me then answer the first question you'll have. Is that a lot? I actually don't think so. If you've gone to any other well-known local dim sum experiences, most of them are priced a la carte. Each dish is about $4 to $6. So if you're able to enjoy just 5 or 6 delicious dishes here, then you're ahead of the game. On top of that, there is not a shortage of AYCE concepts nearby. It could be a seafood buffet, it could be a hot pot experience, it could be a Korean barbecue. Weekend prices at these other places are going to be comparable, if not more expensive, than this AYCE experience. So I'm not necessarily put off by the $28 per adult price of entry. I want to say before we sink our teeth into some Cantonese and Sichuan fare that I really like the design elements in here. It has a very tall ceiling to give us an ample feeling of space, which I think is pretty rare when you go to a restaurant in a downtown business district. Up above us are clouds and a flying dragon. The place does not feel cramped at all, despite the 15-minute wait time today to get a table. I liked the decorative partitions. The interior certainly oozes with both an upscale feel and a traditional Far East personality. I thought it was reminiscent of this fabulous animated film called Spirited Away, if you've ever seen it. For this video, we will be ordering more than half of what's listed, 19 dishes to be specific. We will leave alone some of the items like chicken feet, which they call phoenix claws, and we may circle back to some of the other dishes on a future visit because there are quite a number of options here, a total of 31, but you will get a glimpse of everything that arrived at our table. As food starts to arrive at our table, I'm not going to bite into each thing that is in front of me and then give you a Bon Appetit style review. Let me just muse for a few moments while you take in what you see on the screen. This Chinese kid in me always looked forward to dim sum on Sundays with mom and dad and my little brother and my grandma. So I remember this part of my life well. Let me just comment on a few things. No servers with their push carts. To be honest, I kind of like the chaos that comes with trying to flag down one of those cart pushers. Raising your voice to catch their attention is a unique experience for sure. Also, back in the days of dim sum yore, you'd hope to be seated at a table where the dim sum cart first emerged from the kitchen, because at that beginning point, the dim sum cart was full and fresh. If you're sitting at some other table way down there, all that would be left in the cart were fried turnip cakes and chicken feet. Oh man, yuck. But with this location and upscale clientele, ordering from your server, which is how it's done here, becomes a more elegant solution, and there's a 100% chance of getting all the pork soup dumplings you want. You know, it's nice that the servers actually come to your table to take your order. Nowadays, I know a lot of places are leaning on impersonal technology like tablets to order food and robots to deliver food. But here, you get an honest-to-goodness human being, and it's good to know that the human element hasn't been sacrificed. The servers here were certainly on top of their game, at least in terms of checking on you for refills and taking orders. But I have to wonder what was going on back there in the kitchen. Sometimes we received dishes we had never ordered, but it was more so the case where food that we ordered never even arrived. Consequently, there were some annoyed faces at our table. It's like lost luggage at the airport. Where did the dishes go? Anyway, there has to be an island of misfit dim sum dishes in the back of the kitchen or something. Yeah. Other than these minor points, the food was overall quite yummy. We were only moderately disappointed with number 5, which was the salt and pepper pork lotus sandwich. That said, let me continue to offer a few more parting thoughts that are crossing my mind. Sadly, only one veggie dish was offered, although I must say that the bok choy was excellent. Yet, veggie options are not usually part of a traditional dim sum menu anyway, so maybe I should really say that I give them credit for getting a solid veggie dish onto the menu. The coolest looking thing on their menu is their scallion bubble pancake. It's just a piece of dough, but its presentation really seems to defy the natural laws of physics. That said, order just one because you don't want to fill your stomach on dough. I really liked that they offered duck, even though you had to get it inside a semi-sweet piece of bread. Also, beef ho fun, usually not offered as a dim sum dish, but rather as a full-sized entree, so this was nice to see on this menu. I know someone out there is going to wonder about the soup dumplings and how they might compare to Ding Tai Fun or Joe's Shanghai. Well, no, not on the same level at all as those two established eateries. I would say, though, that these are juicier and tastier than most other local Chinese eateries in this area that sell soup dumplings or xiaolongbao. I mean, regarding xiaolongbao from Joe's Shanghai, they've just set the bar impossibly high, right? Finally, missing were 2 items that I personally loved when I was growing up. That included the not very sweet Cantonese sponge cake. Also missing were the crab claw lollipops. Without hesitation, I would definitely come back with my friends and especially with any of my visiting relatives. It offers a wide array of tasty dishes with a side of serenity, something that we could all appreciate given how busy we are nowadays. It's nice that there isn't a sign warning you that you have to vacate the table after 90 minutes, although they do warn you not to waste food. And I liked the variety of flavors, whether it's the honey riblets or the scallion pancakes or the pan-fried shrimp and chive cake or the chili Szechuan wontons, because dishes are distinctly different. You have to admit, when you get hot pot or eat at a K barbecue, yes, you can order all sorts of meats, but once you add them to the soup or dip the meats into the sauce, every mouthful kind of starts to taste the same. Wouldn't you agree? That won't be the case here, and your taste buds will be happier for it. So I quite liked Q by Peter Chang and their weekend AYCE Dim Sum. I think even my parents and grandma would have approved too. Hey, this is the Daily Dad reminding you to try new things and to be happy.